on to Friday, August 2nd, 2019. It is the lower body workout. Please do not... August 2019, August 2nd, 2019, Friday. I think I already said that. Do not waste your time watching this unless you have a very specific reason to. All right. The lower body is going to be squats, then Romanian deadlifts, then leg extensions, then single leg calf raises, and then it's going to be those lateral leg raises. Okay, so that's going to be that. Going to do this one kind of fast. And first is the warm-up. The warm-up is going to be just a handful of exercises that my dad likes that seems to help out the back. Then there's going to be L-shaped chin-ups, glide downs, inverse sit-ups, a few push-ups, then some air squats, and then some bends, and then we're ready to go with the workout. There we go. I think I explained it in relatively good time. All right, first is the exercise that I like, and my dad likes, this kind of thing. Just do a few of these, just a little bit, just to feel good. And then the shoulder shrugs, and then this. Get the body moving. Three. Whew, fun stuff. Whew. Oh, that's a good bed. Yep. There we go. All right, let's see if I can get this done. Six, 7. Sometimes you gotta really fling it to get it to decouple itself. Do that. Seems to be the best way. All right. First half of the warm-up. Now let's do the second half of the warm-up. There we go. Good enough for me. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's 6. Okay, that's the warm-up. Already set up for the exercises. This will be a set of 8. Like that's a fun spot. All right. I'm gonna breathe a slight bit before doing this set. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Gonna lighten the weight. Do the next set. Set of 10. A little bit of breathing. Not so much a breathing meditation, but just enough. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. All right. Next thing is remaining deadlifts. Always note to self, make sure I bring my hips and butt and everything in the midsection backwards at least an inch while the movement is being undergone. Moving backwards. Very important. All right. Pretty sure I already got this set up properly. Yeah. Yeah, we're good to go here. I think this might be a little bit light. Yeah, it's a little bit light. It's not what's on the script. Grease it by a little bit. Now I'll be ready to do it for real. All right, that feels a little bit more proper. All right, hips go backwards. Hips go backwards. Hips are going backwards. 1, 2, 3. Instead of 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lower the weight. Set of 10. Here we go with the set of 10. Hips go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that's remaining deadlifts. Definitely felt it around rep 7. Definitely felt something with the hips going backwards. The more I'm pushing those hips backwards, the better that whole movement feels. I can move my hips way back and then bring forwards. Then moving the hips backwards really sets it up. I'm not throwing a lot of weight. Being very careful. That exercise seems like a great way to ruin your back. So, all right, next exercise. Scene change yet again. I know, it's terrible. But we're almost done. This is amazingly quick. Not doing so much breathing exercises. Although, I did read something that says 2 minutes between sets for like strength training, where you're kind of pushing your edges. I don't know. I think I might be doing cycles, 18-week cycles, and then, or maybe 3-week cycles, or 6-week cycles. I haven't quite figured it out. I know that you could push your edges for a little while, according to this one book I read, written back in 1998, and it had push your edges for, go to your maximum for a little bit, then cycle back while you're still in like this explosive growth phase to really, really lower weight. And then your body's going to catch up. That lower weight's going to feel real good. Everything's going to fill in. You're going to heal real well. And then you'll be ready to do your maximum if you do that every few weeks. It has a whole chart and all that for it. Also has some things that don't necessarily think work with my body, but that might be a fun thing. Try that out with these exercises. Although, like that book had, it just had the body part and the day, and there was a hardcore version. There was like a 4-day-a-week, 1 workout a day. There was a 6-day-a-week, 1 workout a day. And then there was, 6 6 days a week, twice a day. Like, whoa, that's some crazy stuff. I also think it was geared towards bodybuilders because it was talking about not doing full range of motion. I try to kind of maximize my full range of motion. Except for there, I need to figure out a way to tighten up on that. I'm thinking, I do these things every now and then. They're called comfort tolerance tests. And I use exercises I don't normally use. Like sometimes, like, these. And just seeing if I can do 200 of these. And that's testing my comfort zone. And see if I can still feel comfortable doing a lot of those. Or like, one of my favorite ones is do like 100 or past 100 just calf raises. Both legs, going as deep as you can go, going as high as you can go, full range of motion. That's kind of fun. On this single leg calf raise, just because the weight and the angle and the balance, I'm sure, I know I'm not getting full range of motion. So definitely like to balance it out with a comfort tolerance test of a whole bunch of calf raises. Okay, that's all been said. All right, this is where it's going up to a set of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do a little bit of a rest here. Lower the weight. It's set at 12. Okay. What do you say we get this thing out of the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, really feeling it there. 8, 9, 10. Little tiny break. 11, 12. Almost getting out of my seat. Trying to throw a little momentum in that. Not the best thing, but I really wanted to get the numbers there. For some reason, I'm really feeling that today. Whew. Well, it's good because it's done. All right, single leg calf raises. Hopefully this won't give me any grief. I don't think it will. All right. That seems like a good spot. Well, yeah, that's good. Okay. We're gonna go left leg to begin this one. Okay. Note to self, do not lean on that so much. I saw that kind of going down, and I was like, I don't need those speakers. Why don't I do the smart thing and actually take the weights off of this? I don't like having that much weight on there anyway. I bring it up, I put it back down like that, but if I'm going to be doing basically with that, with tricep exercises, so put way too much weight on that. Put you down right there. Alright. Whew. That could have been tragic. Could have put a hole in my garage door. So I got lucky. Nothing bad happened there. Nobody was on the other side of that. Yeah. Whew. Well, the good news is I wasn't in a calf raise and using that to stab me out. So that's really good for that. Yep, nothing's broken. I think I put a dent in the side of the speaker. Yeah, definitely. Wow. The speaker was kind of broken anyway. Whew. All right, back to working out. Alright. Set of 10, set of 12. Left foot starts it out. That was humorous. Why am I starting right foot? Left foot is going to start this out just like I said before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to lower the weight after this set, then do the same thing with a set of 12 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just going to go down extra low for this and see if we can go extra high. Just, I think some of those were kind of cheating ones. Alright. Didn't really just try to maximize the extension. Alright, this is set of 12. Each side, left first. 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, that thing almost slipped. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, let's hit the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Quick leg day. Got one exercise left. It's nice and easy. It's that lateral leg raise while laying down, because sometimes if you get this tired, the tile is comfy. All right, there we go. Just for fun, I think I'm gonna do right leg first. I miss the talking. It's like I've been needing to do these workouts like tonight or today. Yeah, I'm doing a workout because I got food coming up, and I was going to do this a little bit later, but got an offer for food, So as soon as this is done, shower up, get some food. I don't think it's been quite a 20-hour fast, but yeah, my metabolism's certainly slowed down, which is not good, not what I want. But I think if I play different things with my diet, I think what I'm going to be doing today might be a little bit of the beginning of it, but mostly it'll be carbohydrate and protein, and then the next day will be fat and protein. Next day will be carbohydrate and protein. And the main thing, most of my calories is hopefully going to be coming from protein. Since I'm a vegetarian, it's going to be a lot of protein shakes, a lot of fake meats. It's no problem. A whole bag of $5 fake chicken is about 103.5 grams of protein. And a good protein shake is sometimes what I like to think of as somewhere between 90 and 75 grams of protein. So I think I'll be covered on the protein thing. Maybe I'm getting too much protein, but I like this kind of idea about back and forth and not doing the back and forth every day. Sometimes have a 40-30-30 day. On the days where I'll be doing protein and fat, and then the other day I'll be doing protein carb. I mean, it'd be nice to get rid of the gut, but and like have some ab definition and all that kind of fun stuff. That might be hopefully a byproduct of this in about 10 weeks. But what's really going on is I think it'll do some interesting stuff for my metabolism, and then occasionally have a 40-30-30 day. And then like just the reasoning being is supposedly carbohydrate plus fat equals your body saying, I'm going to burn those carbohydrates and I'm going to store that fat. But if there's barely any fat and there's protein, carbohydrates, it's just going to be, I'm going to burn those carbohydrates. And especially if you're doing intermittent fasting, all this is included in a 16 or 20 hour intermittent fast day. Then like the days where you're going to be, protein and fat, and everybody knows about ketosis. Or ketogenics or ketogenic diets and all that kind of stuff. I think I'll be able to do that without, well, maybe I should go fully ketogenic for a little while. But maybe this is like a pre-run to see if those days screw me up at all. If I get like a ketogenic flu or anything weird like that. Get my body kind of fat adapted if I go full ketogenic for like a month or two, but I don't know. 1, 2, set of 15, 4 sets of 5. Is that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 5 right there. Wait a second. Third set of these. 3, 4, 5. We're gonna do for the fourth set right about now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And believe it or not, I'm really feeling it. All right, here comes the fifth set. 1, 2, a little 2.5 pound weight. 3, 4, 5. It's because I barely use those muscles. They feel so weird, but it's good because gotta find my weaknesses, and if you can find your weakness, you're gonna actually increase a lot faster than something that you're gonna be strong in. So fun with that. Also, probably my diet's my biggest enemy. Still hitting up the complex carbohydrates. Oh, there's a caveat to that whole system too. To blow out the nutrients and for overall health and longevity, I'm thinking every day is gonna have, and we're only talking 1 or 2 meals a day, but every day is gonna have vegetables, some sort of vegetables. My go-to is broccoli because I have a couple different sauces. I have some sauces that are almost all fat, and I have some sauces that are almost nothing but just hot. And I have some sauces that are mostly carbohydrate. So I can switch those on different days. That'll give me an excuse to do different sauces. All right, enough talking. Let's do this. 1, 2, that feels weird. Let's get myself sideways, get my head right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It feels like a stretch just touching. That's weird. That's a stretch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's almost like I did something on my left side. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's fine now. 13, 14, 15. All right, wait a second. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoa, going too far. All right, it's 4 sets of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the second set of 5. Third set overall on this left-hand side, or this left foot side. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I try to straighten out both legs, it's harder. 5. And probably some of you people are thinking, well, duh, because distance and whatever. Leverage, levers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hopefully that was it. I'm gonna end this with a quick breathing exercise. We're gonna do like, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 60 breaths. Just gonna in and out, using your mouth. No real stoppages. Maybe a hold empty, maybe a hold full. Don't really know yet. Just gonna do it. A little bit of an eye exercise there too. You know, there's certain exercises that I really should do more as far as like eye exercises, because you might as well exercise your whole body to a certain extent. I like roads because you can look out in the distance, and if you think about it, if there wasn't really a road around, you wouldn't have like this long distance sense. Once read a story about some people that lived in like the Amazonian jungle, and someone took them out of the jungle, and since they never really experienced just like a flat plane of nothingness for like you know, I guess this particular tribe, I guess other tribes have seen the ocean and stuff like that, but this particular tribe, some of the people in there never really experienced a flat plane of just like ocean or desert or plains. And it really kind of freaked them out. They're like, they thought everything far away was really miniature, and it was just really far away, because everything, you know, the biggest clearing they had was like, you know, 20 meters or something. I don't know if that story's true or not, but it does make me think about stuff. And it makes me think about roads. You go down like the single point perspective and the two lines of the road or the railroad track. dual point perspective, coming to a center, little drawing things that people tell you about. Yeah, there's fun and good stuff there. Perspective, horizon lines, all that kind of fun stuff. I think I've said this joke on another video. The other day I heard a guy rip the joke off. I don't know if it's ripping the joke off, to be honest with you. I think it's just an M factor. It's an easy joke to make. But I made it a long time ago when I was really just getting into George Carlin before I ever did any stand-up comedy. And I was just amazed at the way he thought about certain things. And it was funny because the joke I liked the most was like a joke that everybody thought it was kind of a throwaway joke, I guess. I don't know. And he had a whole bunch of jokes like these, but this one really hit me. The whole, he said, why do you drive in a parkway and park in a driveway? And I loved that joke. I still love that joke. And I remember trying to think about a joke and like the logic there. And the one I came up with is, if your ass is down here and the horizon's out there, why are asteroids out there and hemorrhoids down here? Oh, not horizon. I thought horizon lines. Okay, the hemisphere. And really that joke doesn't make sense because the hemisphere is just half of the Earth. You know, half of the sphere, hemisphere. But you know, if you think about like troposphere and ionosphere and all that kind of stuff, and plesiosphere, that last one I just made up. It sounds cool. So it's like, if your ass is down here and the hemisphere's out there, why are hemorrhoids down here and asteroids out there? And it's not as quick, it's not as elegant as the park in a driveway and drive in a parkway, but I've done that joke multiple times, and not as much as I should. I should do that joke more often because I just love it, but I don't want, you know, basically when you do open mic comedy, it's the same group of people, and if you see a person once and you see them a year later, sometimes it's the same group of jokes. I think there's one guy that's been doing the same exact routine for 3 years, but it makes him happy and his friends enjoy it and he just gets a boost out of it. And you know what? I think there's people that make fun of him, but in a way they're kind of laughing, and eventually I think that turns into, at least in his case, laughing with him. It just becomes a fun thing. You know, you get that the happiness, and then you get the association, this thing, associated happiness, repeat 20, 30 times, and the thing itself stops becoming mean-spirited, I guess, or whatever, and the laughter becomes real. But anyway, yeah, so my dad showed me a email he received with 20 or 30 jokes, and that a version of asteroid hemorrhoid was in there. And then I saw a guy on stage, and I think he might have saw one of my videos. I used to put this stuff up all the time. No, I don't, because, now I do not, because I think I'm getting worse as a comedian. Or maybe I was delusional then. I was probably delusional then, and maybe it's just like, you know. But I was right in front, and I was laughing and everything. As soon as he said that one, my face kind of went to stone. And he saw me, and I'm not the easiest person to forget. And he probably made that connection, and he was like, oh, I saw that guy before when he did this joke. Maybe he was in a crowd when I was doing that joke. I think he might have been. And he started out with it, and he's just like, oh yeah, the joke just writes itself. And then he went to another joke. But that's a weird thing, joke stealing and stuff. Random thoughts about joke stealing. And maybe it's an M factor, like both people come up with the same thing near the same time. I came up with a joke that is, I tried to get a friend of mine, I was going to get my sister a Fitbit for Christmas. This was back in Christmas a year or two ago. And I did this joke, and I was like, I was going to get my sister a Fitbit for Christmas, but a friend of mine said, no, don't do it. And I'm like, why? He's like, it doesn't work. Every time I go to the bathroom, it says I did 4 miles. Now, that one you have to think about. Then a friend of mine, I don't know how good of a friend he is of mine or what, maybe he's placating me, but he did a way better version of that joke, and his version involved, like, I don't remember all the steps, but there was 2 or 3 punchlines in it. The final punchline, though, was the best. It was the capper, and it was like, he was talking about his Fitbit, and he's like going to the bathroom with it, and he's like, yeah, now I'm up to 490 strokes per minute or something like that, and it's just like, so I kind of retired my Fitbit Christmas joke, and it was only good around Christmas, so I could have said, oh, sister's birthday or brother's birthday or whatever, friend's birthday, and getting a Fitbit, and then my other friend says, so I could have made it for any occasion, but his version was way better, and it was kind of funny. It was like a week after I did mine for the first time, I heard his, and I'm pretty sure, because his version was really well thought out, so it probably came into iteration, so he probably did his way before I was even thinking about doing mine. So, and then there's other ones with like the same punchline. I remember I had a lame joke with the nay, nay, and someone else had a joke with the same punchline, and his was just way better. So like that one, I actually called him up and I asked him about it, and he could care less. It seemed like he could care less. But I decided to retire that joke because, first of all, my version was kind of lame, and it was part of a stack that wasn't even a good stack of jokes. It didn't really hit me, and the funniest thing about it was trying to say it, and they weren't very good, so I purposely wanted to say them very fast. I thought the first one was kind of strong, and I thought the last one was kind of strong. Start out with the first one, maybe get a laugh or a courtesy laugh, and then just burn through the next 3, and that was, like I said, I think it was a stack of 5, and then hit that last one and make that last one kind of good, and then flip it around. But yeah, and that was during a time where I was all thinking one-liners, and it was tough. Like, my challenge to myself at that time was 5 minutes, 30 one-liners, which sounds like it doesn't sound too hard, but for me, it was difficult. It was a lot of memorization, and it was a lot of chunking, putting it in stacks and just burning through the stacks. Now, if I was going to do that kind of thing different, I might do it that way, but I would rephrase some of the throwaway jokes and have a joke that would be, here's a lame joke. Like, one of my things is throwing the dad jokes, and then having the joke on the opposite. Like, the tag end for a bad dad joke for me is like, that joke makes me want to get a girl pregnant so I can get the dad joke cred. I think it's funny. There's a different way to say it. There's probably a shorter way to say that. That joke makes me want to get a girl pregnant. I kind of need the dad cred, or the dad joke credentials. Dad joke cred. Those 3 words, there has to be something smoother there. And timing. And I like the idea of fast and slow. If I'm going too fast all the way through, lose the audience's attention. If I go too slow, boredom. But if I pace it, stronger stuff gets a little slower, faster stuff, weaker stuff, but filling in the time, da-da-da-da. Another thing that I figured out, I don't know why I'm talking about humor, but this is what's been going through my head lately. Partially because I got a message from a friend of mine about an open mic last night that I missed out on. Anyway, but I was thinking if I did go to that one, this is what I'd do. But yeah, all right, so something about stacks, one-liners. Oh God, there's a place I was going with this. Let's say on a 1 through 13 scale, you have a stack of jokes. The first part of it, that's a 5. The second joke and the third joke and the fourth joke are all like 2s or 1s, but they're quick. So you can put them in there, burn through them fast. Now here's the funny thing. What I've noticed is if you're stacking jokes, if the first one's kind of funny, that 2 that is later becomes a 3, and that next 2 becomes a 4, and that next 2 on a 1 through 13 scale, you can't really push it up to, you can't, the whole thing about polishing a turd or whatever, but it's like there is a psychological thing that happens when you're carrying jokes and you got 4 or 5. Now, sometimes there's overwhelm. Last week I saw a lady do 30 minutes, and her stuff was so good that it's just like brain fried. Like, you're just laughing, and finally you're just in a zone where I don't even know what's going on. Like, it was pretty cool, but at the same time, you kind of lose attention, and there's no the pacing was interesting, the emotionality, everything was highly emotional with her. I kind of wish, like, turn on the emotion. It's like jump cuts in a horror film, you know. You know, something jump scares, you know, something jumps out at you. You get kind of desensitized to it, and that's how I was feeling about her jokes. But all of them were really clever, creative. Like I said, she went for 30 minutes plus on that. Good audience engagement. I'm not going to criticize it all, but for me, it was just, it was too much, too many jump scares, you know, or whatever. It was like, okay, good. Maybe throw something bad in there, and then we'll just laugh on reflex, and you hit us good again. Slow down, emotionality, I don't know, variety. The Tao of Jeet Kune Do when it comes to broken rhythm and telling jokes. But in a 5-minute set, you don't need to worry about that. But if you're going for, I guess, over 20, it might be an interesting idea. If I ever get to anywhere near her caliber, which I won't, but it was really amazing seeing what she was doing and what she was thinking. I think her day job is a lawyer, so there was a definite, like, setting up premises. Like, the premises were really set, and they were set so well that you could do the premise, and you can have that premise, and 5 minutes later you can circle back around to that premise because it's stuck so well. And you just keep retouching a few of her premises, like some of it was legal troubles and stuff like that. Did I mention I got sued by, you know, and then, like, she'd go back to that and back to that. So, and that was also a good touching point for anger, you know. But yeah, like, all right, here's a mental thing. Just like I described, and I've done this as an experiment, hemorrhoid asteroid joke. If I just come out and say, like, a stack of 2 jokes, there used to be a stack of 3 I had, but it was just like, hey, if your ass is down here, the hemisphere is out there, why are asteroids down out there and hemorrhoids down here? I'd say that, and then, like, you ever wonder if you put a gay guy in a straitjacket, is it really a hate crime? And, like, I think there was a third one I had somewhere in there. But, like, these were just interesting questions, and I would have a 3 stack of interesting questions to kind of end things on. And I think the third one was, I'd love to think it was something really amazing. That was so amazing I needed to forget, but maybe the third one was pretty weak. So, but, like, what I've noticed, I do that one, asteroid hemorrhoid, get something, but priming. George Carlin is funny to most people. Everybody's at least heard one George Carlin joke somewhere. So I actually do the story saying, hey, one of my favorite jokes growing up was from George Carlin, and it was, why do you park in the driveway and drive in the parkway? So for the longest time, I tried to come up with a joke like that. Here it is. And that just announces that I'm doing a tribute joke to George Carlin, which I think is proper because I just used his joke to get a cheap laugh. So the tribute joke, asteroid hemorrhoid. I was thinking about doing that with a whole bunch of comedians. Like, here's their joke, here's my tribute joke, but that seems almost like a class. And I don't want to make people do too much mental gymnastics. Like, are you taking notes? But yeah, like, I would do the primer, George Carlin primer story, and then do the joke, asteroid hemorrhoid, and that joke got significantly bigger laughs. So it was all about the time constraints. But I couldn't turn it into a stack with that, straitjacket joke. So there's a little bit of give and take on that. Now, that straitjacket joke can go into another set of questions. And I like the idea of questions, interesting questions that you're just like, but the only problem is sometimes I say the question in such a way where I am almost eliciting a response instead of a laugh. And there's probably a different tonality, a different rhythm that actually gets a response as far as a laugh instead of a response. Anyway, all right, I'm done talking. Probably talked more than I worked out, but I needed it. If nothing else, I can air out these thoughts to myself, look back at them, and be like, "Oh, there's the diatribe," and you really went deep into the, asteroid hemorrhoid joke, and you really went deep into the George Carlin joke. And like I said, there's things I'm thinking about telling stories about my mom, and then like jokes, and it's like that's my relation to humor. And even before that, I saw George Carlin, and this is, this thing, and as long as I can write it down and I can just press a tally at the time period. So let's count down from 5 minutes, do a little time write down. Just have a piece of paper with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do a check mark, and making sure there's a check mark which denotes a pause for laughter and a joke at least every 30 seconds. So in that 5 minutes, I'm having like 10 jokes within a story. So have 2 stories, stack them up, joke, 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 joke on a piece of paper. Look at my countdown. Okay, I'm at 4:30. There needs to be a joke here. I'm at 5. I need to come out real strong right out of the gate. First 3 seconds with like, not how you doing. I was thinking about a joke, and I know that there's at least 2 or other versions of this, but like, yeah, I love going to open mics. It's nothing better like, oh man, I love going to open mics. There's nothing quite like being asked how you're doing 14 times a night. Now, that is the simple version. I've heard 2 or 3 people do something like that. I was thinking my own joke for that, and I haven't written this one down. It's been culminating, so hey, I'm going to talk when it's here. The joke for that is, hold on, it's coming. No, beyond that, something else is coming. The inspiration. Sometimes, if you use the word hopefully 3 times in the same sentence, there's no hope. And if you get asked how you're doing way too many times, you might not be doing so good. Someone asks, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? How are you doing? Oh my God, how are you doing? How are you? How are you? So anytime I go to an open mic, I always feel like something's wrong with me because, how you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? Not a good version of that, and maybe I shouldn't joke about the nervous response for social noise that everybody who gets on stage seems to do. How you guys doing tonight? Although I think Jim Carrey had a great version of that, though, with the start of the alrighty then. How is everybody? Alrighty then. Just cut everybody off, and because, I love that. Blatantly showing that he doesn't care about the audience right out of the gate. Which is it's not genuine. I'm sure he does care about the audience, but that joke is, hey, I don't care about you. And there's something funny about that. I think he was doing it like the Hollywood, but with a, juggling the hacky sacks. One of these days I'll get really good at juggling with one hand. Wonder which one will do good. Will it be my left or will it be my right? Or supposedly the way you juggle 4 balls is you start out just juggling one hand in each hand, or 2 balls in each hand, and then eventually you learn how to switch the balls. Phrasing. Whew. Okay, time for pizza. Shower and pizza. End of this. Later it shall be. Do well, my friends. Or do well, future me.